That we bring in Noah Rothman, National Review senior writer, and Yemisi Egbewole, former chief of staff to White House press office under former President Biden. Yemisi and Noah, great to have both of you with us. Thank you for joining me today. So, first of all, Noah, let me go to you about Mamdani. First of all, he's going to all 5 boroughs. I mean, it's not exactly like hitting all the counties. It's a pretty small area, but he's going to go to all 5 boroughs, and he is really trying to make this about him against Trump at this point.
Yeah, and that's a tried and true political tactic. The mayoral candidate, Mr. Mamdani, is trying to position himself as a pole in this political debate with himself at one end and the president of the United States at the other. That serves to elevate him and his political profile. And we've seen that plenty of times from low-level municipal officials. What Mr. Mamdani's critics are saying, and I think they have every reason to say it, is that his allies maintain that he's no longer for defunding the police, that he got swept up in things in 2020. And now he doesn't believe the NYPD is a major threat to public safety, as he said then. But they're not retailing a conversion narrative. They're not telling us why he had a change of heart. They're simply saying he did. We could be excused for believing that he had this change of heart because it was pragmatic, because he found out that this was a political loser and he simply changed his rhetoric, not his views. And the president would be within his rights. Republicans, too, would be within their rights to highlight his outlook, and not just his, but other candidates in places like Seattle and Minneapolis, who are all running against the accumulated wisdom of 2020, which is that cities must work first before they become a beacon for social change.
So, Yemisi, he's obviously also turning his attention to Cuomo, because Cuomo is turning the tables on him a bit, going after him, basically calling him a hypocrite for calling for freezes on rent when Mamdani lives in a $2,300 apartment and makes $140,000 a year. He's in a rent-controlled apartment himself. Here's a quick back and forth on this.
Assemblyman Mamdani is a man who can obviously afford rent. He's a man of means, but he's living in a rent-stabilized apartment. He then said he was going to move out. Well, he hasn't moved out.
Like so much of Andrew Cuomo's politics, it is characterized by a petty vindictiveness. I live rent-free in his head. Mamdani
beat Cuomo, obviously, in the primary, or Cuomo wouldn't be running as an independent. Yemisi, your thoughts on how Cuomo is going at this point?
Well, I think reports of Cuomo and Trump having a conversation about the mayoral race will only negatively impact Andrew Cuomo. I mean, the president is deeply unpopular in New York City. As we know, he lost in double digits in 2024. So Zohran running an anti-Trump campaign, it plays well to the politics. And I think politics should always be local. And for all of these boroughs, Zohran's message will resonate harder if it comes from a place of you can't afford to live, and it's because of who exists in the White House. And so I think Andrew Cuomo is going to have to come up with something a little bit stronger to push back against Zohran.
Let's quickly listen to Kathy Hochul here, because she has not endorsed Mamdani, and she seems to be tiptoeing a little bit in that direction. Watch this.
There's many areas of disagreement, but also there's areas of alignment, including affordability. His election touched a nerve. So I'm aligned with him that we need to start finding ways to make life more affordable for New Yorkers.
So she's saying that's, more affordability. So sounds like a pretty good thing, Noah. What do you think about how she's tracking on this?
I think that's classic Kathy Hochul. There go the Democratic Party's voters, and I must join them, for I am their leader. That seems to me to be very in line with Kathy Hochul, who takes her cues from other political actors and then attempts to catch up. The specifics of what Mr. Mamdani envisions as affordability are where the rubber meets the road, right? His endorsement, for example, of the notion that we should have state-run grocery stores, that all of a sudden grocers can buy wholesale, as though no other grocer in the country does that, and as though we don't have examples of state-run, city-run grocery stores that are struggling money pits that do not provide for their consumers. These are the sorts of things that Kathy Hochul will have to answer one day if somebody's inclined to ask her.
All right. Thank you very much, Yemisi and Noah. Good to see you both. Come back soon.